continue on next topic, that is the theory of the coordination compounds. Theories of the coordination compounds. Okay. So our next topic is theory of coordination compounds. The first theory you have to read, that is the Werner's theory. The first theory you have to read, that is Werner's theory. Okay. So what is Werner's theory? So there is a scientist whose name was Werner, who defined two types of valencies, that is primary valencies and the secondary valencies. So Werner defined two types of valencies. The first type is primary valency and the second type is secondary valency. Okay, so you have to understand what is the primary valency and what is the secondary valency. So the first point is primary valency. Okay, so primary valency is noted like this dot 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 line. Okay, so what is the primary valency? Primary valency is the oxidation number of the central atom. Okay, so primary valency is the oxidation number of the central atom. Okay, and it is satisfied by only anions. So primary valencies are only satisfied by anions because it is the anion who decides the oxidation number of the central atom, because so it is satisfied by only by anions. And a third point is primary valencies in non-directional in nature, and the primary valency is ionizable in nature. Why ionizable? Because it involves the anions, so it is ionizable in nature, and it involves also the oxidation number of the central atom. Okay, so note this down. I will be explaining the secondary valency after this. So our next point is the secondary valency. So what is a secondary valency? A secondary valency is fulfilled by ligands. What I mean to say is, so what is a secondary valency? Okay, it is the coordination number of the central atom. Okay, and it is satisfied by ligands. Ligands means it can be anion, cation, or neutral ligand. So the secondary valency is satisfied only by ligands, cationic, anionic and neutral ligands. So all of the ligands will be satisfying the secondary valency, and the secondary valency is non-ionizable in nature, and it is directional in nature. And I forgot to mention that this secondary valency is represented by a straight line. Okay, and the primary valency is represented by dotted line. But I have shown. Note down this. I will be taking some examples after this. So let's take up some examples. Of Warner theory of representation. Okay. So to remind you, I am writing the representation here. How we represent? We represent anions by dotted line. Okay. Remember, anions, primary valency, coordination number. Okay. And we represent ligand as a straight line. Okay. Ligand, coordination number, secondary valency, remember. So let's take up some examples. Our first example is, let's say, CONH3 whole 6 Cl3. We have to represent in as the Warner's theory. Okay. So first we will write down the central atom CO, and outside there is 6 NH3 which are ligands. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. NH3, 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 NH3. Okay. And outside this there are 3 Cl atoms which are anions. Okay. Only anions. They are not ligands. Okay. So they are represented by dotted line. Cl, Cl, Cl. Okay. 3 Cl and 6 ligands. So it is represented by this. Okay. And let us take now the next example after this. Note down this. So our next example in this topic is CO NH3 whole 5 Cl, and outside there is Cl2. Okay. So the central atom is cobalt. Outside there are 6 ligands, 5 NH3 and 1 Cl. Okay. So write down the ligands for 2, 3, 4, 5 NH3 as ligand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 NH3, and 1 as a Cl. This Cl is also ligand, and also this Cl minus is an anion also. So it is a ligand and anion both. So we will be writing also this dot line to represent that Cl is anion, and this straight line to represent that Cl is a ligand. And this outside this 2 Cl, this Cl2 is not ligands but is an anion, so it will be only dot dot dotted by Cl dot 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 dot, dot Cl. Okay, these are two are anions but not ligands, so only dot dot line, and this Cl is both anion and ligand, so straight line and dot line both. Okay, so note this down. I am writing the next example. So our next example is CONH3 whole 5 Cl2, and outside there is only one Cl. Okay, so try this first by pausing the video. Okay, you have tried. I'm assuming that you have tried. I'm writing the theory, that the representation according to Wagner's theory. Okay, this is cobalt 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 NH3 2 Cl2, no 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, now let's take it as 4 NH3 2 Cl, outside 1 Cl. Okay, it's all sorted. 6 not 6 NH3 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 NH3. We have taken 4 NH3s as ligand, neutral ligand 1 2 3 4, and we will be taking 2 Cl2 as ligands, 2 Cl. And also remember, this Cl2 inside the coordination sphere are ligands. This Cl2 inside the coordination sphere is ligand and anion both. So we have to dot 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 this, because to represent it as a ligand, and also dot 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 this Cl to represent it as an anion. So this 2 Cl is anion and ligand both, and this particular Cl is outside the coordination sphere and is only anion and not a ligand. Okay, so this will be only dot 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 Cl. Okay, note down this. I will be continuing the next topic after this. Okay, our next theory in this section is the EAN rule by Sidgwick. The EAN rule by Sidgwick, W-I-C-K. Okay, Sidgwick. What is the full form of EAN? The full form of EAN is effective atomic number. Is effective atomic number. Okay, so what is the EAN rule? What is the concept of the EAN rule? The concept of the EAN rule, that is the central atom in the coordination sphere accept electron from the ligands, accept electrons from the ligands, and always try to attain configuration like nearest like nearest noble gas. Okay, so what are the atomic number of the noble gases? Like 18, 36, 54, 18, 36, 54 or 86. Okay, so this will be the En. If the central atom has En number of 18, 36 or 54 or 86, we say the complex is following the En rule, and if the En, the effective atomic number of the En is not 18, 36, 54 or 86, we say the complex is not following the En rule. Okay, so the complex will follow En rule if effective atomic number is equals to 18, 36, 50, 18 or 36 or 54 or 80 or 86. Okay, so this is the main concept, and we will be writing how to calculate the En or the effective atomic number of the central atom. So what is the method of writing the En? So it is the atomic number of central atom minus the oxidation state of central atom plus electrons accepted by central atom from ligand. So in short, what we'll write, this is Z, that is atomic number, minus oxidation number of the central atom ON plus electron from ligand. Okay, electron from ligands. This is in short. So we will be covering some examples after this. First write down this. I hope you have write down this. We have wrote down this. So we will be continuing some examples of En rule. So let's say we take our favorite example, that is K4 FeCN whole 6. Okay, so what is the oxidation state of the Fe here? That is +2. I have taught you how to calculate previously. What is +2? Okay, so the EAN or the effective atomic number of Fe in this complex is Z minus oxidation number plus electrons. Okay, so what is the Z of Fe? That is 26. And what is the oxidation number? -2 plus what are the number of electrons from ligands here? Remember, the Cn minus forms a coordinate bond with the Fe in this complex. A coordinate bond means the both electrons of the Cn minus is donated from Cn minus to Fe in this. So one Cn minus will donate 2 electrons. So remember here, a monodentate ligand will donate 2 electrons. Bidentate ligand will donate 4 electrons. Tridentate will donate 6 electrons, and so on. Okay, so what are the donation of the electrons here? Is 6 into 2, that is 12. So that is 24 plus 12, that is 36. Remember, 36 is a noble gas like configuration. So we will say that this is following the EN rule. So complex follows EAN rule. Okay, so write down this. I will be taking some examples after this. Okay, let's take some examples here. The next example we take is K3 FeCN whole 6. Okay, the oxidation state of Fe plus here is 3, Fe is plus 3. So what is the En in this Fe? En of Fe here is 26 minus Z, atomic number, that is 26, minus oxidation number, that is 3, plus electron donated by Cn minus, that is 6 into 2. 6 into 2, that is 12, and is 23 plus 12, that is 35. So this complex does not follow EN rule, but the previous complex K4 FeCN whole 6 follows the EN rule. Okay, this is an example here. Just another example, say another example, say suppose A9CO. This CO is carbonyl, this is not cobalt, this is carbonyl, this is carbon, this is oxygen. NiCO, carbonyl, carbon and oxygen. It is a monodentate ligand. Okay, whole 5. Okay, we will calculate the EM value here. Nickel is 28. What is the oxidation state of this nickel? 0. 0 is the oxidation state of this nickel because carbonyl has no charge here. And what is the electron accepted? 5 into 2. 5 into 2. So is equals to 38. So it does not follow AN rule. Okay, it does not follow AN rule. Suppose we take FeCO whole 5. What is the EN number of Fe here? So what is the expected atomic number? 26 minus 0 plus 5 into 2, that is 36. So we can say it will follow the EN rule here. Okay, write down this. I will be taking 1 or 2 examples. Suppose we are taking chromium C6H6, that is benzene, C6H6 whole 2. Okay, so EN number. Okay, so what is the EN number? Chromium is 24, oxidation state is 0 because benzene has no charge here. And what is the electron donated by the benzene? Listen, the benzene has 3 pi bonds. So one benzene ring can donate 3 pairs of electrons. That is, one benzene can donate 6 electrons. because you tridentate ligand. So 2 benzene will donate 6 into 2, that is 12 electrons, so it is 36. So it follows EN rule. Okay, suppose we take another example, that is nickel DMG. Remember this DMG. What is the structure of the DMG then? What is the structure? Remember the structure, I have taught you previously. CH3, C, single bond C, single bond C, double bond N, OH, double bond N, OH. And what are the donors here? The donors here are this lone pair and this lone pair. So it is a symmetrical ligand and bidentate ligand. Okay, very important. So this nickel DMG. So what is the EN here? DMG has -1. So this is O minus. Okay, sorry. DMG has -1 charge here. So nickel has +2 charge. So EN value will be 28 minus 2 plus bidentate ligand 4 into 2. What is 26? 26 plus 8, that is 34. So it does not follow EN rule. Okay, and I have forgot to mention that this EN rule by Sidgwick is not followed today. Okay, not followed today. That means in today's world we do not follow this rule. Okay, and this EN rule is generally applied for metal carbonyl. Okay, this EN rule is generally applied for metal carbonyl, that is MCOX. Okay, this is not cobalt, this is carbonyl. I am telling you again, this is carbon and oxygen, this is carbon monoxide thing. Okay, so this is it. Note down this. So there is a small part I have left out, that is the conductivity of the solution of a complexes. So I will tell this conductivity part in the next lecture in short, in 15 or 20 minutes. After that we will be continuing the valence bond theory and the crystal field theory, which is the main part of the chapter. Okay.